Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and my ongoing quest to review every single movie Robin Williams has ever made. This week I am talking about a very interesting film with a very special guest, my friend Hunter Martin.
Woo!
Co-host of my podcast, The Time Machine, and someone who saw this movie once with the flu.
Yes, I remember, and when Becca asked me to be on an episode, and I said, well, I remember seeing this movie Jack, and I thought it was a fever dream, because I was in and out of a flu-like state.
And boy does it feel like one. Today we are looking at 1996's Jack, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Imagine directing The Godfather and then directing this.
I mean, I feel like it tracks.
Jack stars Robin Williams as Jack Powell, a boy who ages 4 times faster than normal as a result of something called Werner syndrome, so he looks like a 40-year-old man, but he's 10 and in the 4th grade. Also starring Diane Lane, Jennifer Lopez, Fran Drescher, and Bill Cosby. This movie came out in theaters 3 days after I was born, so it was #1 at the box office.
That was Robin's gift to you.
Oh no. This is how he repays me.
It's not returnable.
I don't know what to think. Like, I don't know what... I have so many thoughts that are all over the place for a very all-over-the-place film.
Yes.
To start the history, background, and fun facts, Jennifer Lopez is very young in this movie, but I was going to wait until I was filming for Hunter to tell me just how young she was.
Yeah, so we did the math, and I also looked at her IMDb. This was her 3rd movie she ever did. She is
How young is she?
26!
26?!
Yes, in this movie.
I thought you were going to tell me she was 19.
No.
This was Robin's first movie back with Disney after Aladdin. Aladdin made him angry.
Oh yeah,
Because
they used him as marketing.
They used him as marketing, and that
They
was
didn't
like
want to be.
part of the deal. Like, he took a huge pay cut for the first Aladdin. He was offered the screenplay for the movie and said he was only going to do it if Francis Ford Coppola signed on to direct. Because they really wanted to work together. They had been friends for a while, and they had never like worked together, I think.
Interesting.
Francis Ford Coppola, for the record, is not ashamed of this movie. He does not understand why so many people dislike it, and said that he was just like, yeah, I guess it's like weird that I would have made a silly Disney movie with Robin Williams, but I was just happy to make any movie.
Why? Was he not working?
I don't know. That's what he was quoted as saying.
Oh.
Maybe he just really liked being a director
Okay.
and directing 5-minute scenes of Robin Williams farting into a can.
And volley. And not tying his shoe.
Oh my god. So the description of this on Disney Plus says that it's non-stop laughs.
There was some stopping in between.
I think I laughed maybe 5 times that weren't out of just like genuine shock and surprise.
Right. Same. I would laugh at the things that they weren't intended to laugh.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Most of the stuff that I laughed at that they probably intended for me to laugh at was just because Robin Williams was like doing a line delivery really well.
Yes.
Like there's a scene where he is like at school for the first time and he says something quietly. He says yes, like he's ready very quietly, and then the principal is like, a little louder, Jack, and he goes, yes!
Yeah.
This movie opens with
Halloween party.
There are so many scenes in this movie that are like 8 minutes longer than they need to be.
Yes.
And this was one of them. There's like a 10-minute scene of just a bunch of people at a Halloween party in costumes doing a conga, like all just to get to the point that Diane Lane is in labor while she's only 2 months pregnant. There's also a scene where Jack is playing basketball and just like doing this that goes on for 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
There's the scene of them in the treehouse is so long. The scene of him talking to Fran Drescher is so long.
No, and you're exactly right, because we were watching this scene where he goes to play with the kids for the first time when they ask him to go play, and Becca's like, is this the same day? I said, no, they're different clothes. It's a different day. And then they comment, yo, Jack, he did something great for me earlier today.
Lo and behold.
Said, huh?
But then like 2 weeks will go by in the blink of an eye. This movie has no concept of time.
No, and it's...
It's like 1 hour and 50 minutes, and it felt like 3.
Do you think that was intentional because he ages...
If he ages rapidly, the movie should have been half an hour.
No, because if the movie's an hour, it feels like 3 hours.
I don't know.
He's 10, but he's actually 40.
I am conflicted because there were parts of this that I enjoyed and thought were like sweet, and parts of it that I thought were funny, but most of it is just like kind of a drag.
No, it's the only... I'm struggling to even find a part.
Anything that I enjoyed in this movie that I was like, that is good, it was because of something that Robin was doing.
Yes, which brings me to, I was going to tell you this, but I wanted to wait till we filmed. The character that he's playing is so inconsistent.
I was just about to say, so at the very beginning of the movie, we see Jack peeking out the window, literally making E.T. ass noises.
Yeah, like all the kids are like, oh, that's the weird guy who lives in this house, and all of a sudden it cuts to him, and he has like a little robot hand. He goes.
He's literally like, ugh. And then he acts like he trips and he scrapes his knee, and he's like, ugh. He's like acting like a baby. When he goes to school, he's getting like poked by a stick and like bullied, and he's like, don't poke me or I'll tell.
He's supposed to be 10, but his 10-year-old is all across the map.
It's like infancy. He gives us 6-year-old, he gives us actual adults.
But
like,
then his Robin Williams humor will come into play,
it will.
And Robin Williams humor and Robin Williams references do not coincide with a 10-year-old.
No.
Like the part where he's getting all the stuff at the gas station.
Yeah.
And he's like, Pez, pretzels, a pen, the penthouse. And then he sees the nun behind him, he goes, the Pope. I'm like, the Pope? I was like, that's such a Robin Williams thing to say.
Or like
when
they're farting into the can in the treehouse for 5 minutes, and he's like, "Shoo, get out of me!"
Yes.
It was very like.
His 10-year-old at the beginning
so
didn't match with the 10-year-olds in his class. He was like a 4-year-old at the beginning.
And I can't say that he's giving a bad performance because like he is genuinely trying. But some of this is just so eerie and weird to like watch. Like they're having a close up of him being like. When he scraped his knee, it was too much for me.
The fashion in this movie, especially the kids, this kid's shorts like went down to his ankle.
Oh yeah.
But they're still considered shorts.
I was trying to find some cargo shorts to throw on.
And like the vest hoodies.
Yeah, Robin Williams spends 88% of this movie like this.
There's the point where the kid is trying to get out of trouble with his mom, but the mom has to go talk to his principal.
And the mom is Fran Drescher.
And
she gets out of the car in this tiny little maid outfit.
Yeah.
And Robin Williams has to act like he's the principal, even though he's 10.
But he's constantly, like, as he's talking, being like...
Yeah, he's like doing this stuff. He says something about diarrhea, and Fran Drescher goes, diarrhea!
He's not turned off by how Robin Williams is acting.
Which, she starts flirting with him, which, like... There's a scene later in the movie where they are at a bar at the same time, and she is like kissing on him.
Yeah.
Which is big yikes. And then like
in her defense, she only thinks
she doesn't know. Sure, but it's.
Oh wait, but remember when at the end she was like, when she was bringing him home, she goes, "Your eyes, they're like Jack, they're like Louis.
Yeah.
They're so youthful.
Yeah.
What's your cream?
What's your cream?"
So I said, so he has childlike eyes? And that's how, is that supposed to mean she's figured it out?
And those are the only 2 scenes that she's in.
Yeah, but it's never, like, resolved that she finds out that he's...
But she's at the high school graduation where Jack is the valedictorian and he's really, really old, which... He gives this valedictorian speech and he is shaking and acting like he's knocking on death's door.
He's like, you got it, Jack. He's like, thanks. And then it cuts to the end, and all his friends are like, Jack, let's go! He's like, Mom, can I go?
He's like, whoa! And he like jumps into the car, and we're like...
Said, oh, he's done.
Okay.
So was that all for show?
Obviously, like, the mom is at the graduation. She would have had to have found out at some point that he wasn't the principal and was like this rapidly aging child.
But I need that scene.
Right, I need to know what happened.
When Louis invited Robin Williams to finally come to the house, and Fran Drescher opens the door, and it's like, I kissed you.
Right. Like the scene from Ace Ventura, and she's just like, ew!
Right.
Everyone in this movie is just falling constantly. Like, tripping, falling, tripping over nothing, tripping over shoelaces.
Yeah. Right. The moral of the story is tie your shoes, because they had endless shots of Robin Williams walking in his shoes runtime. I don't know if that was just supposed to mean he's still young, but even young people can tie their shoes, okay?
I literally just wrote in my notes, how do you direct The Godfather and then direct a scene where Robin Williams farts into a can for 3 minutes?
You know, directors have layers. Ogres have layers, onions have layers, and directors have layers.
Bill Cosby is like the house call tutor, like he'll come to the house and teach Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And at one point, Robin Williams brings him to the treehouse with all these little boys. And as soon as he popped up, I was like, do not let Bill Cosby into that treehouse!
He literally thought he was like...
He pops up
There's so many,
no!
But there's so many moments in that movie where Robin Williams just pops out of nowhere and like is just like...
Oh my god, at the very end when he comes back to school after being gone for 2 weeks and he's just like... outside the door. This movie, like... the heartfelt moments like only work because I don't even want to say that they work. Like when he gets sick.
The part where he gets denied by his teacher to go on a date. the
Yeah,
part.
he asks out Jennifer Lopez.
He asks out
That's
Jennifer
kind of
Lopez because he's like, there's a dance at school, and I think the kids are saying, well, you can't go with anyone in our class.
Yeah.
Right? You try asking Miss, whatever her name is, the teacher.
I already forgot it.
And Miss Jennifer Lopez, he doesn't understand that she's like, I can't go with
Yeah.
you. Even though we look similar in age, I can't go with
She
you.
tries to let him down gently, and he's like, so when can me and my mom pick you up? And she's like, no, I can't go. And he runs out and falls down the stairs and like sort of has a heart attack.
Yeah.
I mean, there were just moments of that where I was like, oh, he genuinely
Well,
doesn't understand.
Yeah. Remember that, I did say, there's that one moment where it's the first day he actually had a good day at school.
Yeah.
He was playing.
And he's like running.
He was
across
running,
the
he was so
field.
excited. I was like, aw.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
It's less of like a heartfelt like moment and more of just like a casual aw. And
Yeah.
like I know I was thinking aw.
Aw.
It sounded like Fran.
Yep.
Oh,
Aw.
diarrhea. This movie's not consistent enough in the
No.
tone or in the performances
No.
or like nothing about it is consistent enough for any of it to really
Did
work.
Robin Williams already win his Oscar at this point?
No.
No? I felt like to me, this was trying to get some awards. Because you have
Disney-
Francis Ford Coppola,
No.
you have Robin Williams giving a range of performances
I
from
guess.
infant to
I mean, if
90-year-old.
if I'm gonna nominate anybody in this movie for an award, it would have been the kid with the big glasses who was like giving it his all the whole
True.
time.
True, but I could see how they were like saying, "Oh, this is going to be like a tearjerker."
Yeah.
Because
I know that
because
they
you have
thought
the
that.
scenes where he's just outside and he sees the butterflies and it's like, I said they're trying to frame it as this is a movie.
But then there's just like sped up scenes in the street
Oh,
where
yeah.
the kids are like, "Can Jack come out and play?" And they're bouncing on a trampoline
Yeah,
and it's sped up.
Yeah,
like-
it's, Jack's mother. I hated that. They wouldn't know her last name. Like Jack's mother. Can you come out and play?
Yeah, and the characters are discredited as mom and dad.
Yeah.
Like they don't have names. I can't say that I hated this, but I don't think I liked it that much.
This would not be a Robin Williams movie I would put on a list of I would watch on a regular.
No.
I would not consider the movie Jack to be one of his worst ones. It's mediocre at best.
Yeah, it's probably on the bottom. Like if it is worst, it's like top tier worst.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know he's done things that are worse than this, but this just it's not. It's
nothing.
trying so hard to be something
And it's nothing.
that it's not.
Because, like I said, the way like the music swells at weird times,
Oh
the
my
shots,
God. The violins on
the long,
that one.
the long like Robin Williams Oscar movie speeches he makes.
Yes.
Because every Robin Williams like drama or something has his speech where he like
Oh,
gives
yeah.
out some sage advice. That had it. So they were pushing that this was going to be some kind of movie that was going to resonate with people.
They were, and it did.
But then you have the
do-
next scene is like, I'm going part two. Okay, you better recognize.
parkour, but it works.
And then it cuts to, life is dwindling fast.
Oh my
You
God,
really
it
never-
really does.
You
do
really
that.
never know when tomorrow can be your last.
But then in the next scene, he's like, "Pinners!"
Yes.
Okay, it was really funny when they asked him if he had ever had a boner, and he was
Right.
like, "No, but I'm hoping to get one for Christmas." And
Yeah.
they were like, "Ah!" And he was like,
Yeah.
"But like,
Th-
what
but-
10-year-old boy doesn't know?"
That's why it's inconsistent.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the same age as them, but then he's like, oh, what?
He's so sheltered. I
guess.
don't know if they thought that all of the scenes of him falling out of the desk were supposed to be funny or
Well,
sad.
well, it's a callback at the end when he finally returns to.
I know, and then it just ends after that, sort of. Like, then it's just, he comes back to school and he's like, whoops, and falls out of his
Yeah.
desk again. But then, like, nothing heartfelt happens. It's just straight to graduation after that.
Well, that's supposed to be the heartfelt moment. Because he's knocking on death's door. I miss the way 90s movies are scored.
Yeah.
That is comfort music right there.
Brian Adams giving it his all, like always.
I mean, Brian Adams too, but the instrumental.
Yeah. This movie did not do poorly. Jack did.
Really?
It debuted at #1.
What?
The week that it came out.
I mean, this is 90s Robin Williams.
It made about $58 million over a $45 million budget. So that, I mean, that's cutting it kind of close. But
Oh,
it didn't.
45 million? 50?
45 million and it made 58. So
Ooh.
that's like not the best, but I mean it opened strong and then I think kind of fizzled out. It was nominated for Worst Picture at
Oh.
the Stinkers Bad Movie
I
Awards.
thought you were going to say actually nominated for award, and I was like, I told you. Oh,
No. The Razzies didn't nominate it for anything, interestingly enough, but whatever the Stinkers Bad Movie Awards is, nominated it for Worst
Yeah,
Picture.
that sounds very prestigious.
The reviews of this were generally awful.
Mm-hmm.
It was called a ripoff of Big, which,
I wouldn't say that.
yeah, it's, I guess if you just saw the trailer maybe.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks was also considered to play the part, which is interesting. A lot of people said that this was like just sort of the worst, most banal iteration of like the man-child character that he has played in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
USA Today gave it half a star. and said, "Someone deserves a timeout for letting this mawkish misfire get to screen. Bad movies happen, but when bad movies happen to good people, it's worse."
Yeah, that always sucks when an
Yeah.
actor you really enjoy.
Because you can tell that he tried, and it looks like he probably had a good time. Like
No.
he loves to be around kids,
Yeah.
and he does some of his best work when he's around
No,
kids.
and I think
But,
kids
like,
are.
and kids love him.
No, yeah. I can tell like some of the scenes with the kids he improvised, and they were
Yes.
trying to
Like nobody
make him laugh.
Nobody looked like they were really phoning it in.
No,
Everybody seemed like they were invested, but it just doesn't.
it doesn't work.
It really just doesn't work. I don't know that I would give it half a star. I would maybe give it like
2.
2 at the absolute most.
2 out of what?
Like 5.
5?
Yeah.
I'd give it 2 out of 5.
Yeah. But that's like me being generous.
Well.
If you are interested in watching Jack, it is available to stream on Disney Plus. If
Yeah.
you don't have Disney Plus, you can also rent it in all the usual places.
You can watch Camp Rock and then
And then Jack.
Jack.
And then you can also watch the movie I'm about to review next week, Aladdin and the King of Thieves.
Hey!
The straight-to-DVD threequel. I will not be watching Return of Jafar because I don't have to. I will be looking at Aladdin and the King of Thieves, which I have heard is better than the Return of Jafar, but not by much.
Don't look far for in the animation department.
Don't look Jafar.
Don't look Jafar.
Well, on that note, let me just exit this review.
I don't know what was happening when you did that. I was like, what kind of review was this? Try to get me.
Try to get me.